If I may, this is a question I didn't send you guys in advance, but it's a
Hmm?
beautiful segue. Your game is very diverse in a way that most games are not. You
Exactly.
have a lot of characters of color, a lot of people with Hispanic names. What are you guys doing right that everybody else is doing wrong?
Diverse and complex. I mean, not diverse in a surface way.
Right, it's not
Right.
just like here's some thugs for color just to put them
Yeah.
in, but like real people who just sometimes are not white, which is a revelation.
It it was important to us from the very start. I mean, the one of the first lines of the really shitty design doc we wrote up in 6 7 years ago um, was this is a game about regular people, and so not everybody is their stereotype of what they're representing. It was imagine just your neighbors and people down the street and how they would survive. And so the story sort of built out of that. And I know Jeffrey has more to talk about how we've approached that in the after the first release, after when we started Breakdown and really kind of spread our wings a little bit in Lifeline. But I'll let Jeffrey take over there. But it was just important that we tried to get as much of a cross section of people just living through the worst time ever, right?
You know, one of the things that we realized, especially after the original game came out, was the fact that we just have an incredibly diverse audience. I mean, we've got this game has kind of taken hold all over the world. In fact, there's one of our like most sort of devoted players of the game is this guy. He goes by the name Mon Prince Cyclope.
Yeah, he
He's
just
from
said hi to you
Morocco.
guys on Twitter.
Ah,
Yeah. He's constantly talking to us on Twitter. He's doing these weird like card challenges right now, where he's like trying
Yeah.
to stack 6 cards on top of a barn in the middle of the fields. And he's like this guy who he lives in a different continent from me, speaks a different language from me, but the sort of the story of this game really connects with him, and it sort of makes it kind of makes you realize as a game developer, kind of sitting over here in Seattle, like this game is much bigger than just me. I shouldn't just trying to tell my story in this game. This is going to try to be everybody's story. That means that what this game really ought to be. I mean, for such a broad audience, it should be a tool to let other people tell their own stories, and that means you got to give them the you know the building materials that they need for a story about themselves.